Larry Bird has never been one to hand out compliments lightly. Known for his sharp mind, old-school discipline, and quiet authority, when he speaks, people listen. So when the basketball legend recently broke his silence to deliver a heartfelt message about Caitlin Clark, it wasn't just another soundbite. It was a moment that rippled across generations, connecting the golden era of basketball to its thrilling new chapter. What he said didn't just flatter her, it shook her to the core. Bird's words carried the weight of someone who understands the burden of brilliance, the loneliness of greatness, and the fire it takes to change a game forever. Bird admitted he'd been watching Clark closely, comparing the excitement of her games to the same energy he once felt during his own college days at Indiana State. "Yeah, I've watched a lot of basketball," he said with a smile, before his tone shifted to something more serious. He called her jump shot one of the purest I've seen in years, and praised her vision as something special, something that can't be taught. That line alone sent waves through the basketball world. Because when a player of Bird's stature says someone's talent can't be taught, it means they're seeing something rare, something instinctual, natural, divine. But Bird didn't stop there. He went deeper, talking not just about Caitlin's physical ability, but her resilience. He's seen players crumble under pressure. He's seen hype devour potential. Yet, he said, Caitlin Clark doesn't just survive the storm, she thrives in it. Every hard foul, every shove, every headline questioning her worth only seems to make her stronger. "That's what separates the great from the unforgettable," he remarked, a reflection of his own career spent defying doubters. Bird wasn't just praising her skills, he was acknowledging her spirit, the same relentless drive that carried him through decades of competition against giants like Magic Johnson. And speaking of Magic, Bird made an observation that stunned analysts. He said that Caitlin Clark is doing for women's basketball what he and Magic did for the men's game. In the 1980s, their rivalry didn't just fill arenas, it transformed basketball into a cultural phenomenon. Bird sees that same spark in Caitlin. Her presence has redefined what the WNBA represents, drawing record-breaking viewership, sold-out arenas, and sponsors scrambling to invest. To him, she's not merely playing basketball, she's rewriting its future. Of course, like any revolutionary, Caitlin's rise hasn't come without backlash. Critics question whether her stardom is sustainable, or if she's been too glorified by the media. Some call her polarizing, saying her fiery competitiveness rubs opponents the wrong way. But Bird knows those criticisms too well. He faced the same doubts early in his career, accused of arrogance, told he wasn't athletic enough, mocked for being too outspoken. "Talent invites resistance," Bird once said, and Caitlin's journey has proven him right. Legends don't emerge in silence, they carve their legacy through noise. The parallels between Caitlin's story and Bird's own rivalry with Magic Johnson are impossible to ignore. Just as their battles turned the NBA into must-watch television, Caitlin's duels with Angel Reese have electrified fans. Every time these two face off, it feels like history repeating itself, a blend of intensity, emotion, and unspoken respect. Magic Johnson himself even weighed in, saying Caitlin reminds him of the hunger he and Bird once shared. "We became great through competition," he said. "That's what's happening now in the WNBA." It's true. Clark and Reese have reignited interest in women's basketball in a way no marketing campaign ever could. They've given the league storylines, rivalries, and personalities that transcend the court. Attendance has soared, merchandise is flying off shelves, and WNBA highlights now dominate social media feeds. The league is finally being talked about not as a sideshow, but as must-see sports. And it's largely because of Caitlin's influence, her ability to make every game feel like an event, every shot like a statement. Her journey mirrors the greats who came before her, but she's also carving her own lane. When Chris Paul, one of the NBA's most respected point guards, spoke about her, it felt like a passing of the torch. He called her a Rookie of the Year with the mindset of a veteran, praising her leadership, her vision, and her composure. Paul, who built his legacy on precision and control, said what impressed him most wasn't her shooting, it was her ability to make everyone around her better. "You can see the joy she brings to the game," he said, smiling. "That's what makes her dangerous." Even when faced with disappointment, Caitlin's story only grows more compelling. When she was controversially left off Team USA's Olympic roster, many expected her to be crushed. Instead, she turned rejection into motivation. Dwight Howard, watching from afar, saw it differently than most. Maybe this is her moment to get sharper, stronger, hungrier, he said. And he was right. The time off only fueled her transformation. When she returned to the WNBA, she played with renewed fire, her confidence soaring, her precision terrifying defenders. What was meant to humble her only made her unstoppable. That resilience drew praise from Reggie Miller, the Indiana legend who once carried the same burden of expectation. "She's in the league now," Miller said bluntly. "You've got to earn your respect." It wasn't criticism, it was a challenge. And Caitlin took it to heart. She didn't whine, she didn't retreat. She showed up, night after night, proving that toughness isn't just about strength, it's about endurance. Every foul she absorbs, every shove she takes, she gets back up smiling, ready for the next play. It's why icons like Michael Jordan and Allen Iverson have stepped forward to defend her. Jordan, who rarely comments on active players, said the WNBA owes Caitlin Clark for what she's done for the game. He didn't mince words either, calling out the league for failing to protect its biggest star. "It's time to protect players who carry the game on their shoulders," he said, a rare statement of advocacy from a man known for letting his game speak louder than anything else. And yet, through it all, she remains grounded. She's not chasing drama, not responding to hate, not demanding recognition. She's doing exactly what Larry Bird did decades ago, letting her game do the talking. Every time she steps on the court, she reminds the world why she's special. Every deep three-pointer, every impossible assist, every fearless drive to the basket, it all adds to a story that's becoming bigger than basketball. Larry Bird's words weren't just a compliment. They were a validation, a legend recognizing another legend in the making. "She's not just playing the game," he said quietly. "She's redefining it for everyone who comes after her." And maybe that's what left Caitlin Clark speechless. Because when greatness recognizes greatness, it's more than a moment, it's a legacy in motion. So what do you think Larry Bird truly meant when he said Caitlin Clark is redefining the game? Are we witnessing the birth of basketball's next all-time great? Drop your thoughts below. Let's hear your take on this incredible story. And if you're as inspired by Caitlin Clark's journey as we are, hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dives into the biggest stories in sports, and stay tuned, because this era of basketball is just getting started, and you won't want to miss what happens next.